Okay, dude faces, here we are, another vid. I do believe this is the last one for these. I've shown you how to do every colour now, and the last one being the feathers. So I've rack fleshed them out. We're going to do a bit of a shade with Agrax, Dryad and Black, you know, the usuals that I have, and a bit of Screaming Skull. I've got a sneaky feeling this is going to be a pretty quick one as well, because believe it or not, starting with Agrax by the way, over a base coat of Rakarth. Believe it or not, the feathers, as much as some people have been rather impressed by them and quite enjoyed looking at them, actually the bit I kind of put the least effort into, and I'm not quite sure why, because they actually take up quite a prominent space in the visual of this entire guy, but whatever, eh? Anyway, a bit of Agrax, not necessary, but it's just how I've done the rest, because like I said in every other video, I did a base coat and a shade of some kind of wash, and I kind of wish I hadn't, but I'm going to show you actually how I did this before the wash. So I've re-base coated the feathers out, so these feathers might actually look a little bit better than the other ones, because I'm doing it for a video and being a little bit more deliberate for you guys. Yeah, the way I do the back is exactly the same as the front, so there you go. Anyway, straight up, bam, some Agrax right up the middle there, right up the middle, around the edges. Alright, and then what I do is give it a bit of water and kind of put it around wider, if you will. Yeah, I'll let it be a little bit wider. Oops, slipped there. Don't worry about slippages and mistakes, because we correct them anyway later on. So I do a slim line, then a wider line. And that purely is about just shading the light. It's got now to do the pattern I put on later on. I'm just going to hair dry this. There we go. So hopefully, stop wobbling, Mr. Camera. There we go. Hopefully, you can see it kind of gives a two-stage soft kind of blend effect, and that's enough of the Agrax. I might go more here and there. In fact, shall I just do it just for the sake of showing you? So I might go some more just in this deeper area, but I can always do that with the stage of these later on. And I might go more into some of these ones where it just looks like it needs it. But ultimately, just don't ever want you to worry about these things. Or anything for that matter. Else why bother painting? Yeah, see, in fact, like, see what I'm doing now? I'm just kind of drawing some lines like that radiate away or towards in this case. And that just kind of helps reinforce the blend. Again, this entire stage almost not necessary, but still fun to show you. And none of this stage is going on as a big puddly wash either, by the way. None of it. It's all almost like a base coat. So there you go. There's that. So what do we do next? Get a big ass brush. Get some dried bark. Now part of me can't quite remember, if I look at the other guys, can't quite remember if I go on just straight up neat with the dried bark. I'm pretty sure I do. Or else I wouldn't be sat here kind of doing this. But what I do is I choose a part and I go, right, I'm doing that bit there. Then I water all some of this down, and I just kind of make it wet right on the border. And there you go. There's a fade, and I'll let that dry. Now for the pattern I choose for all these, I kind of just make it up. So like this one, let's just do a sharp bang. That's where it finishes. There's no fade on this. I'm going to go back and touch this fade up later on. But further down, let's just choose these ones here. I'll put a fade on these ones. There we go. So there we go. So we've got this nice bar of Dryad. Water it down and do just a quick water it down area. All this bit obviously has to be dry before doing the next bit. There's what it looks like dry. Yeah, no biggie, eh? No biggie. And then repeat the process. So yes, I want this stronger, and then I want it faded out, and then I want this stronger, and I don't want it faded out, and then I want this stronger, and I do want it faded out. Job done. That's that for that stage. Next stage, if I want to go darker, mix a bit of Abaddon in. There you go. A little bit of Abaddon in. This is almost dry, but don't be tempted. There we go. And then I'll go in with the Abaddon. Get that in. Get that in. Notice I'm going much smaller with these. Get rid of that big brush. Go in. I just kind of shade the next like rung down, like feathery feather. What's the individual hair of a feather called? I don't know. Whatever they are. But there's that. It's like as simple as that. Okay, let's get rid of them. Let's go back to rack half. Can't remember if I had to do some highlighting on those either. Let's have a look at some of the other ones. Yeah, I do a little bit. Let's highlight the dark bits then before moving on. So I've got some rack half, sorry, not rack half, Dryad there. And I'll bang a little bit of rack half into it. Yeah, that looks about right. And then I just put that at the raised areas. Just in little strands. Oops, I went a bit too heavy on that there. So there we go, take some of that. Put that back in. And then up over here. On this, I don't ever want the highlight too light. Notice it's just kind of off Dryad here. Because I don't want the highlight to in any way compete with the lightness of, not compete, but blend in with the actual Dryad bark. It's the actual rackar flesh part itself. So for the rackar flesh part, there we go, a little bit of that. I'm just going to start to put in each of the strands of featheriness. Yeah, hopefully leaving some of the strands of rack half in between where that is. On this side, it always looks different. If you hold the model upside down, it always looks strange. But I'd like the brush strokes to go that way. But if I hold it upside down, it looks weird. So I'm going to persevere. Just do it this way. Just be a bit more careful. There we go. There's that. And then from the top. Lovely. Repeat that entire process again, but this time with a little bit of Screaming Skull in there, and then that is the feathers done. I got a bit wobbly then. No, I should have blended these a little bit better, so I'll show you how to do that as well. Make this video a little bit longer. Let's take a bit of that. There we go. So I don't know if you remember with the arm a bit, when I said I went a little bit too much with the shade, I can always go back. Well, it's exactly the same way with this, so I just take a slightly watered down version of that and just put it over the slightly scruffy, less blended area then. There we go. That's blended in a bit more. I'll just repeat that until I'm happy with it. And that is how I do that. There you go, guys. Last for the Blood Bowl. Yeah, whiz me any comments. You know the drill. Hook me up for lessons, blah 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 blah. Just figured I wanted to go a little bit more in that shadow there, just to, well, just for whatever. Sometimes I'll go in the middle as well, actually. Real sharp. Anyway, there you go, dudes. Have a top day, and I'll see you in the next project.